Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Jenkins, and I'm with the Realtors Land Institute, and welcome to the Let's Make Deals marketing session. Thank you all for taking time today to participate in this Institute Smart Tool. We will be recording the web seminar today and sharing it with our members throughout the country. Before we get started, I just want to go through a few housekeeping items. Each presenter will have 2 minutes to present their property. After the 2 minutes, there will be a 2 minutes of question and answer time. Any additional questions that you might have about the piece of property, you're welcome to contact them with their information on the presenter roster. If you could please not put your phone on speakerphone while you're presenting, this a lot of times will create an echo, and we want to try to minimize that so everyone can listen. And mute your phone when you're not presenting. You can unmute it if you have a question about a property, but if you could mute it when you're not speaking, that would be really great. Again, it just helps eliminate the background noise so everyone can hear clearly. This session will be facilitated by an Institute past president, Norma Nisbet, who's an ALC Advanced. She is with Vista Properties in St. Louis, Missouri, and is an important member of the Institute. And she currently serves on our ALC designation committee. So Norma, if you want to go ahead and get started, we're ready to go.
I will, and thank you very much, Amanda. And thank all of you for attending this marketing conference. You know, the marketing and networking is one of the benchmarks for the Institute and for the ALCs. This is what we're known for. So this is another benefit and plus that you as brokers out in the field can mention to your clients the fact that you are presenting their property nationally to other brokers, both through a conference call, and you also have that opportunity through our Land Connection network as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. And Amanda has given us the guidelines, so you have the time parameters. But I would suggest that as we're thinking now before we start presenting, give thought to the actual people, the property, and what the actual project is, you know, what their ultimate goals are, and be able to share that with us as well. So with that, Glenn Thomas of Louisville, Kentucky, is going to speak to us about his horse farm. Go ahead, Glenn.
Good afternoon, everyone. Got a farm located south central Kentucky on Interstate 65. We're midway between Louisville and Nashville, midway between Elizabethtown and Bowling Green. 27 surveyed acres, all grass, all fence. Makes a nice little horse farm with cattle farm. It's got a 5,900 square foot estate home with all the bells and whistles. Got a 18 by 36 in-ground heated pool, a separate pool house, a 4-car garage. You got a horse barn on the property. And then you can add additional acres up to a total of 380 acres. The asking price is $595,000 for the 27 acres and home, centrally located in south central Kentucky. 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, game room, TV room, family room, cherry cabinets, granite countertops, see-through fireplaces, lots of Anderson windows to look out over the farm in any direction. All of this, and you're still in the city limits of town.
Great. Let me ask you, Glenn, we've heard about the property. Tell us about the owners, why they are selling, and what their motivations are, please.
The owners is me.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
old. And I'm old. And we've got 2/3 too much house for 2 people. This home was built 15 years ago to entertain and to have the children, and we find ourselves condo hopping now around the country, and 2/3 of the house is not used. The upper The upper floor was built with 2 bedrooms and 2 full baths for the kids who have their own homes the same size in town. And then the lower unit is all recreational with entertainment area and a guest bedroom and full bath and pool table area, workout room. And my wife goes down twice a year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, so we don't need it.
Okay, great. And briefly tell me just a bit about the additional 380 acres that you might be able to add depending on the deal that would be presented.
Well, we put together a block of land, all contiguous, joins Interstate 65. It has 2 state road and a county road dividing it, so it can be subdivided. The balance, all of the remaining acreage is in a conservation program with a good income stream. It's all in wild, warm season grasses. We've got bukus and bukus of wildlife, deer, turkey. Joins the Green River, so it's a great place to ride your ATV, to see your wildlife, to hunt, to fish, and it's got built-in privacy.
Sounds great. Let me ask you something else. Since you're moving around the country, that seems to be your goal. Would you guys be interested in an exchange property? And if so, what kind? Or if not, would you be interested in holding paper or a note?
We'd be interested in an exchange property with an income stream.
Okay. Are there any questions from any of the other participants?
Yes, this is Cindy Miller, and I didn't get how much additional land that you had.
Up to 380 acres total.
Okay, thank you.
Is the entire 380 parcel in the conservation easement? Or
all
in the
of it's
program?
in conservation easement, except for the 27 acres where the home is.
Correct. Okay. That is certainly a lovely home and lovely setting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions for Glenn on this property?
Can I ask, Glenn, how far are you from Louisville?
55 minutes.
So if somebody came to the ALC retreat and wanted to look at it, that would be possible, correct?
Yeah, no problem.
Any other comments, questions? Moving along to presenter number 2. I have Brian Neese, ALC, and he's going to talk to us about his 1,520-acre property in Lakeview, Oregon.
Good morning, everybody. This is Brian. I am an ALC. I'm a CCIM out here on the other end of the country from Kentucky. This is a 1,520-acre high country summer pasture ranch. It is owned by an older area family. It's just excess. They are motivated to liquidate it. It is close to the Northern California border, and with water problems and grazing problems in California, we've had a lot of activity from down there. It includes 175 acres of water rights, a couple hundred acres of timber, which is primarily pine and fir. Historically, it has run yearlings as well as pairs later in the season. Typical season would be June through October, in the area of 900 animal units in a typical year. We are dry out here this year, unlike some other areas of the country. The other sidelight here is that it is potentially partitionable. Lake County allows serial partitions. Over a 2-year period, you could have 9 parcels, slightly over 160 acres each, with the right to build non-farm dwellings on each one of them. So There is a different exit strategy. This sits in the middle of the Fremont National Forest, about halfway between Lakeview and Paisley, Oregon. And again, my sellers are motivated. They would be open to carrying contract. They would be open to probably geographically limited trade properties. That's kind of it.
Okay, in other words, when you say geographically, they would most likely want to stay within that proximity of their current location.
Right.
Or
They're based.
And do they live in Lakeview?
No, they actually live here in the Bend area, so they run a retail store. They are no longer in, active cattle ranching business.
What do you yourself, Brian, see as this being the highest and best use for the property? Because I'm also thinking, you mentioned the aspect of partitioning it off. Would that be a potential development project for someone based on these prices?
It could be. Most of the interest we've had has been from local ranchers down into the Northern California country. Somebody's echoing pretty bad.
Yeah, I just want to say a reminder. Please do not put your phone on speakerphone because it creates an echo. And if you're not asking questions or presenting, please mute your phone. Thank you.
So I think that it's up at 5,700 feet. It'd be a great summer retreat. It's surrounded by forests, so you have all sorts of recreational activities. Hunting includes deer, elk, cougar, bear. It's recreational use would be another potential, for the property.
Okay, do you see this as something that obviously someone could buy and make it, you mentioned a summer retreat, could it also be used for hunting lodging purposes?
Yes, and that would be one other benefit to going through the partition if you did it correctly and congregated any dwellings so it was more like a little lodge and cabins, then you would have another option there too from the recreational standpoint.
Okay, and again, to recap briefly, we have owners who have another business. This is more than they want at this time. They really are motivated to move out of the property and would look at an exchange or another alternative, correct?
Correct. Contract would be great.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for Brian?
That's okay. I appreciate the time.
Well, thank you, Brian. And if anyone does have questions, don't hesitate to get back to Brian later. We will go to property number 3.
Thank you, Norma.
Thank you. And this would be from Cindy Miller, who's going to talk to us about her development site that is 64 acres. Cindy.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be on this call. I have a 64-plus acre tract in Forney, Texas, which is about 20 miles east of Dallas. It can be still used as residential, but we're marketing more towards mixed use due to the fact that it's within a block and a half of a 2,000-acre master plan development called the Gateway in Forney that has senior living already on the property, and then the Cedars, which is a multifamily unit, and they have 300 units at this point and are starting the second phase, which will come out to about 2,000 units total. But on this property, there's a 3-acre lake. There's 3 ponds on it. There's a 2,800 Austin stone home that has porches all the way around. There's equipment buildings, and then there's also a metal building that has efficiency living quarters in it with kitchen, living, bath, and bedrooms in it. And the reason my people are selling is she lost her husband a year ago very suddenly, and she has cancer, and they're giving her through the end of the year to live. And so she is motivated to sell it. And if someone wanted to purchase it and to keep it in ag, she does not mind staying there to keep it in ag for them. They do bale hay off of the property. And it also has, there's a 40-acre tract next to that if someone needed, that adjoins the property, that is available also. It is surrounded by some very, very nice subdivisions. And on 548, they will be widening that road from 4 to 6 lanes due to the growth that is in Forney. They just finished a $23 million bridge into Forney and redid the exit at 548 and 80 to widen that bridge. Forney is has been one of the fastest growing little cities around Dallas-Fort Worth for the past 3 years. Very nice community that will be eventually built out like Rockwall and probably Frisco to some extent. And I'm just wanting to see if I can find someone that would be interesting in purchasing this for them. It's also by the Lowe's, Signature, Kroger, Walmart, and CVS, and have Target is supposed to be coming in on this area also. And so it's in a great area with a lot of potential for different things that could be done to it as far as residential and, commercial on the front, along again with other multifamily. They are in for a need of more upper scale homes. Forney was built out or started building out as most first time home buyers, and now have branched out into the more upscale type homes and desperately need more. So I'm sure it's probably the same as around everywhere else. You can't go to put a contract on a home and it's already gone before you get back. But I'm just promoting this to see what I can get, to see if I can help her move this property before something happens and it's left to the daughter. So,
speaking of that, how does
questions?
how does the daughter fit into the picture currently? Obviously, the mother has control currently, but what is that situation?
Yes, everything. If something does happen to the mom, everything does go to the daughter, and she is very willing to sell the property. They're wanting to go east down towards Tyler because that's where her husband's family is, and so she is very open to keep it and get it sold for what her mother. So.
Okay, well, obviously, we have a property that is certainly in the path of progress in the growth corridor.
Oh, yes.
Is this not correct? Okay.
That is correct.
And I that's similar to the type of properties that I work with, and I certainly see this as an excellent potential mixed-use development. But now let me ask you, the existing Gateway project, those are in existence, and how, say, for instance, how long has the Kroger store been there, the senior living, the Walmart, the Walgreens?
Okay, the Kroger, the Signature Kroger just opened this past year. They did just open an Aldi within the last couple of months. The senior facility is going on probably 2 years. The Cedars multifamily unit just opened this past February. And like I say, they're already starting the second phase of that because those apartments there are already leased.
And this is exactly how many miles from that development?
You're looking about probably a block and a half. You can see this project from this property.
I think I'm looking at a corner of it in one section of the aerial photo. And if I'm not mistaken, this was 20 miles east of Dallas or 20 minutes?
20 minutes east of Dallas. Mm-hmm.
And if
you're looking at the photo, go ahead.
The 548 highway, and that has been expanded or is slated to be?
It will be expanded. They are working with the city to see when they're going to start the process of that. It's been in the works for a long time. And with all of the growth that's out there, they're looking to get it started. And I'm just waiting for the city to let me know when TxDOT is going to start on that project.
So this is currently unincorporated? It is in the county?
Yes, it is in the ETJ and is in out of Dallas's ETJ. Yes, Dallas County.
So, okay, it's unincorporated in the county, and looks like it's zoned agriculture currently, which is keeping the taxes down until it's developed. So
that is correct.
Okay. And how is this county on the growth and development, and as far as running through zoning and entitlements?
They are very pro-growth. They have changed council members and have a lot of younger people in there that are wanting growth. And they are very, very easy to work with. And I've been very blessed to be able to work with the city of Forney and their new EDC manager, which is Warren. And he is all for the growth, and they're willing to help anyone that is wanting to participate.
Well, quite frankly, I think this is one of the most important things that we've heard about this property, because you can say all you want about the property and amenities, but if you don't have a pro-growth situation and you have to fight every battle to get zoning and entitlement, it can take years. So this sounds like an excellent opportunity for a good mixed development project and a quality developer here.
Oh, yes.
Does anyone else? Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you need any information to the property or even to the city or anything, just email me and I'll be more than happy to send it out.
That would be great. I might talk with you about this later, Cindy. In the meantime,
Okay.
Does anyone else have questions for Cindy? All right, thank you. Moving right along.
Thank you.
Fletcher Majors? Is Fletcher here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Hey, how you doing, Holmes? And everyone else.
Would you like to tell us all about your sealed bid timber project?
Yeah, it was actually timber and cropland, but we've got several tracts owned by the same ownership in South Alabama, close to the Florida line, close to the Florida Panhandle, just north of the Pensacola area. And this is the biggest tract is on a 4-lane major highway that is actually one of the evacuation routes for the hurricane evacuations. The property has approximately 500 acres of row crop land. It's all planted in cotton right now. Part of it last year was planted in peanuts. There's cotton gins nearby and peanut facilities nearby. The timber portion of the land is planted in younger planted pines, anywhere from about 3 years old, I think, to about 6 years old. There are 3 paper mills very, very close by. There's one 17 miles away, I think, one 30-something miles away, and one 40-something miles away. So you got a great market for your timber as you grow timber there. There's also a lot of residential potential on it as far as mini farm type developments. There are houses adjoining the property that are nice homes, anywhere from 2 acres up to 10 to 15 acres, and the ownership is in a LLC that there are two brothers who are in their 70s that are now trying to clean up their portfolio rather than passing on to children, and a third party who owns a third interest who is not related, but all 3 of the partners are in the timber business, and they bought it from a big timber company about 6 or 7 years ago. They actually bought more acres than they've sold probably 500 acres since they bought it. But they hired us to go ahead and liquidate it all so they could split up the partnership and take their money and go do something else with it.
Okay, so in other words, they are looking to dissolve the partnership, and they would separately be looking at doing an exchange possibly, or moving into other properties.
No, I don't think they'd be looking at moving into other properties. I think that what they're trying to do is they own lots of land. All the two brothers the two that are brothers own lots of land. The other guy really is not that anxious to sell, but they've all agreed to sell, and he might consider doing an exchange, but I doubt the other two would.
Okay, and so they want the money, and would they hold paper on this?
No, and it's really not any need to. I mean, I've got it listed. You know, we don't advertise a price on sealed bid, but I've got it listed at an appraised value that was done by an ag lender within the last year, and it's you know, a reasonable price. It'll sell for more than it was appraised for. And the ag lenders would, you know, I met with the ones that actually got the loan on it right now yesterday, no, day before yesterday morning, Tuesday morning for breakfast, and they're anxious to finance for the next buyer.
Sounds great. Why don't you explain to us and to everyone else a little more about your sealed bid process?
Well, this particular property is made up of 4 tracts, and we're going to offer it where you can bid on all 4 tracts individually. You can bid on all the property as a whole, and we'll also break some of these tracts down into smaller parcels, and you can bid on those parcels. We have a bid deadline. We have a bid form that gives you different options of how to bid. You fill out your bid form and put your top value on it and submit it, and we review them, and depending on it meeting our goals, we accept the high bid. In some cases, we may have some that don't meet our goal, or we may have some tracts that are not bid on at all, and we usually follow that up with a sale after. But we did a sealed bid on some timberland, 6,500 acres back last November, and we sold all of it within a week of the sale date. We had some that didn't meet our goals, and we went back to the second bidder, and they the first bidder first, and then the second bidder, and they met the goals. So it's a lot of work on the front end, but it usually sells the property.
Okay, great. What is your deadline on the sealed bid? The date?
September the 10th, I think, is our deadline. I haven't got it right in front of me, but I think we just said it yesterday, and I think we said it for September the 10th. And what we'll do in marketing this, we'll actually we'll put on seminars in the area of the property, and we're getting ready to send out a direct mail postcard that'll go to prospects and other realtors. When we sell on sealed bid, we offer a 3% fee to any other agent that will bring in a buyer with his, you know, with our bid form saying that they're represented by him or her. And in that last sale we had, I think we had agents on the other side involved in almost all of that. So we go out and solicit other agents. So any agent that's looking at this and has got a buyer could be looking at a 3% fee on it.
Always good to know. Does anyone else have any questions for Fletcher on this timber property for sealed bid?
If anyone's interested, if they'll send me an email, as soon as we get our bid package together, I'll send them a bid package and they can at least see how we're selling.
Excellent, thank you. Any other questions? Troy Lippard is next with his Kansas property, and is Troy not available today?
Nope, he had to cancel at the last minute.
Okay, so you should all have and see on the PowerPoint the information, general information on his property. So maybe if you have additional questions and have any type of interest in this property in Meade, Kansas, which is 1,120 acres. You may want to try and email or give Troy a call. And the last property is a property of mine, 150 acres. The site is for mixed-use development in Boonville, Missouri. Boonville itself is situated about 20 minutes west of Columbia, Missouri. Columbia is the home of the University of Missouri, large college town, so you do have a lot of ancillary overflow, people living, working in the Boonville area. This particular site happens to be just adjacent to and adjoins the Super Walmart in the area. It is just off the path from Interstate 70, so I'm thinking at some point this could be a good mixed-use warehouse, industrial-type development. But we also are looking at about 3 different tracks that could be suited for residential since it backs up to residential. So the entire property is priced at $4.2 million. I do have interest currently in track 1, which is a residential development. The ownership a couple of them live in close proximity. The other heir is in Texas. So this was the family property. They've inherited it. They need to move out of it. I don't think they would do an exchange. They are looking just to, be out from under the property, and would be entertaining and work with somebody that comes to the table. I have also recently talked to economic development. We're working together with some engineers in the University of Missouri in the engineering school to see when the students are back in the next month, we will go back and approach them to see when we could start with the students taking this on as a development project that the students themselves can do a layout design and a mixed-use plan development, which would be a class project. So I'm really looking forward to that new endeavor, working with the university on that. Any questions? No questions? Do we have any additional questions for any of the other properties that someone might have thought of? Well, with that, we will conclude, but I want to remind you again to take this back to your owners, your sellers, and let them know that you participated in a national conference call and this property was presented to other brokers, that you have the capability of marketing their property in this manner, as well as through Land Connect. These are all selling tools that we can all use to set ourselves just a little higher on the ladder so that we look better than the average land broker out there. And these are opportunities that come through us through our institute, through all the work and effort of our staff. And I want to thank Amanda and Michelle and everyone in the office very much. And thank you for the privilege of presenting this seminar. So thank you again, and let's stay in touch.
Thank you, Norma. Thank you for facilitating this.
Enjoyed it.
Yes. A reminder, the next one will take place on November 5th, so mark your calendars, let everyone in your office know, and we'll talk to you all then. So thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.